Hi, so this how are you doing? Welcome to Sh0cking. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video where this woman was talking about welfare. And sincerely speaking, I am sure you all might have heard that the people that benefit more on welfare are black people, food stamp and all that. The same way they made it look like black people are the ones benefiting more from affirmative action, DEI and Obamacare and the rest. Sincerely speaking, each time I think about how these people are messing things up, not just for themselves, because I remember that I told you people about a comment that I saw on a video where a black woman was talking about welfare, and the man was like, a white man said, I mean, it's time for you people to stop getting free stuff. It's time for you to start working. But when you check, you will see the people that benefit more from welfare. The reality is that poor white people do not understand what is happening to them, not until they are ready to wake up, because they do not understand that they are also being used as pawn against themselves, right? You are not rich. You are struggling. You are a working class for 9 to 5 or whatever time you work, some more than. And you have not understood so far that the rich white people are using you against yourself, thinking that black people are doing you when they are the ones doing you. You guys are not ready to fight. Let's get into this video.
People frequently claim that immigrants and poor black families are living off the system. They're on welfare. They're mooching. But here is the truth.
Saying that
the majority of
but
people
Donald Trump
on public assistance in the United States of America are white, and most of them have jobs. They just don't make enough money to survive without a little bit more, because wages are low, rent is high, a lot of jobs don't come with benefits anymore. You can't have a job without a cell phone. You can't even find a job without the internet. But it's not poor people who are eating up the most dollars in public assistance. Nope, it's the middle class. It's people who can take mortgage deductions, and of course, corporations cashing in on subsidies. But nobody calls that a handout. SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance, those aren't loopholes to help billionaires save some more money and line their pockets so they can get more yachts or whatever they do with it. They're lifelines for millions of people. And here's the kicker. Those programs keep all of us safer and more stable. If you're mad that someone's getting help, maybe just look at why they need it, not just who they are. Think about this. A friend of mine said he grew up in a third world country, and he said that in those countries, petty theft and, pickpocketing and crimes like that are common because people have to do that to get enough money to buy food and to pay for a place to stay. That's going to happen in our country if we don't get curious about where the waste in our government really exists. So I posted about white folks on food stamps, and one thing I kept seeing was that welfare was created for white people. I knew that it was created during the New Deal, so I did some more research because I didn't really know the whole story, and I thank you guys for responding and helping me learn stuff. So during the Great Depression is when we saw the beginning of things like Social Security, unemployment insurance. But here's the kicker. When Franklin Roosevelt built those programs, he had to make deals with Southern Democrats in Congress, the same folks who were big fans of Jim Crow, to get the support of these racist white Southern politicians. The programs were designed to exclude farm workers, domestic workers, jobs held overwhelmingly by Black, Latino, and Indigenous people. So right from the start, Black and brown families were pushed out of benefits so that white people could get them. Then we move forward to the 1960s, and there's this war on poverty. It finally opened up welfare programs more broadly, and that's when food stamps became permanent. Well, permanent, we don't know what Trump's going to do to them, but they lasted a long time. And guess what? The minute more black and brown families started accessing this help, the politics shifted. Welfare got a new image and a new target. By the 1980s and 90s, with Ronald Reagan and his gang, they pushed the welfare queen myth. That's a racist dog whistle meant to turn public opinion against safety nets by blaming black women for poverty that white policies created. That's the truth, you guys. So yes, welfare was built for white people, and when others finally got in the door, they tried to burn the house down. If you want to blame the right people, you got to get curious. On a couple of my posts about white people on welfare, a lot of black folks have showed up and taught me things I didn't know, and I appreciate you for that. I know these things in part because I went to school in the 1960s and 70s in the South when racism was really open and history was rewritten to fit a lily white narrative. So let's be honest, it's still happening. And it's worse now under Trump and getting worse. And no, I never voted for that thing. But I also didn't know a lot of these things that you guys know just as part of your lived experience, because I didn't know there was Tish I needed to look for. I just didn't know what I didn't know. And I'm not excusing myself. Schools in my day and today sugarcoat history so that white kids don't feel bad. They don't go into any detail about the white bad guys. So unless we teach ourselves, we don't learn that racist indoctrination could be happening to us. They say that slavery ended. They even admit who started it and who profited. But they really skim over how it actually played out. They don't talk about how fucked up it was that white people were so fine with it that they raised their children observing and participating in the horrific abuses and the everyday casual abuses, and how they coerce slaves through risk of torture and death to cooperate with the system. They never mentioned that women they owned were required to raise and even breastfeed their children, and they abused those women in front of their own children while neglecting the children themselves. No wonder so many white people are so fucked up. They celebrate the civil rights movement, but not how hard white folks fought to stop it. That kind of teaching by omission grooms kids to be receptive to routine racist practices which open the door to extremism. White kids growing up thinking everything's fine, never learning to look deeper, never building real empathy or compassion, are susceptible to the quiet little dog whistles like welfare queen, America first, inner city, that subtly plant seeds of accusation in their hearts against an entire group of people that they don't ever get to know. Get curious. That means look in the mirror. After World War II, the GI Bill helped build the American middle class, the American dream. It let veterans buy homes, go to college, start families, save money. Well, not all veterans, the ones that had this color of skin, my family included, and sure, they earned it. My uncle entered the Dachau concentration camp at the end of the war with his battalion, and what he saw there destroyed him. But so did black GIs, and they got nothing. Just a footnote in the history of the Holocaust. The GI Bill didn't specifically say, but it might as well have. Local VA offices, banks, and schools distributed the benefits, and black applicants were routinely denied loans, refused college admission, their paperwork was ignored or lost. Some black vets were told the program didn't even exist. They knew it did. Or they couldn't get information on how to apply. And remember, they had to go down to apply in person at some office from 8 to 5 on weekdays. No internet, no cell phones, and they didn't get PTO back then. They just had to risk losing their job if they took some time off to go apply to get what they deserved and what they had been promised. So while families like mine were buying homes and going to college and saving money, black families were being cut out on purpose. That wasn't a mistake. That was the system working as it existed. Local leaders didn't want black success, and they made sure to make it really hard to get. Fast forward to the 1970s. Donald Trump and his daddy were sued and convicted for refusing to rent to black tenants. He was raised by a racist to be a racist, and he is a career criminal. Now he's president, again, for duck's sake, and has built a movement, MAGA, but also the weak Republicans who are scared to stand up to him. And let's not even go into the Democrats who are scared to stand up to him. So he's built this cult where white supremacy is out in the open again. Nazi salutes at his inauguration and all of that. He spews out word salad while all the people, all of his handlers, roll out policies that reflect the very fascism we once went to war to stop. MAGAs have fallen for it hook, line, and sinker, and damn it, some of my family is included in that. And I'm ashamed. This country has always had racism, but damn it, y'all, damn. Get curious. It's uncomfortable, but we can't do better if we don't open our damn eyes.
Hi, this is Attorney Davis responding to your comment. And as I mentioned before in the original video, yes, statistically speaking, white people are the biggest beneficiary of welfare programs. And I just want to drop some knowledge on you. Not on you specifically, but on the original comment, the person that posted it. All right, so a little bit about me is that prior to becoming an attorney, my trade actually is economics. I'm an economist by trade and education-wise. In fact, I was going to work on Wall Street prior to becoming an attorney, but I wound up becoming an attorney. Now that that's out the way, let's get to the raw statistics. All right, so white people are the biggest beneficiaries of welfare. White people make up about just about a little bit over 40% of welfare, being recipients of welfare. Another 25.7% is made up by African Americans. Approximately 10.3% are Hispanic. 2.
I started deconstructing my Christianity over 50 years ago, and I'm still trying to figure out how love thy neighbor came to mean kick out any immigrant with brown skin using terrifying kidnapping techniques and call it saving money for the American people. But the roots were there all along. I was raised in the Church of Christ in the South. In the sermons, we were taught that God is love, but at the same time, if you didn't convert African natives who had never even heard of Jesus, you would go to hellfire and brimstone hell. There were long, scary sermons about this. If you didn't convert African natives who had never even heard of Jesus, you would go to hell. Hellfire and brimstone hell. And so would they, for not being converted, even though they'd never heard of Jesus. That is your fault, since you didn't convert them, so you both go into hell, you're going to hang out in hell forever. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and the wages of sin are death. That is the same thing as love thy neighbor. Same thing. It was after one of those terrifying hellfire and brimstone sermons that I went forward to be baptized. I was 10 years old. I ruined my Tony home permanent because I was convinced I was going to fry for my little girl's sins. Sins like thinking about doing something wrong. Sins like being spanked even if I didn't understand what I had done wrong. Now, I'm reading this book I picked up at Half Price Books, Moral Politics by George Lakoff. Came out in 2002, and it's prophetic. I got it because I'm still trying to make sense of politics that preach about loving thy neighbor, because they've picked up that a lot of Christians like to hear that, while sending innocent men to concentration camps forever in defiance of a unanimous Supreme Court ruling. And here's Lakoff laying it all out. Not your next beach read, but damn. And it hit me. Politics makes me furious today because it runs on the same twisted logic I was gestated in. Now I can see it everywhere. Sally loves her kids to the moon and back, but she has no patience for kids whose parents risked everything to bring them to the United States for a chance at a better life. How does that make sense? Even though their Jesus says, suffer the little children to come unto me, even though he said, love thy neighbor as thyself, deconstruction never really ends. It just overlays itself onto every manipulative system you were raised inside. Family, religion, work, politics, country club, the gym, any one of those can be a cult. And that's why I always end my posts with get curious, because how are you supposed to untangle it all if you never look at how it was built in the first place?
This is all I got from this video, and I am going to say this. I don't know, I think I remember telling you people something about a comment that I saw somewhere where they were talking about, a white man dropped a comment for a black woman who was talking about welfare. And the man said that, yes, it is time for you people to start working because no more free stuff. Right? And now I am saying that black people are not the people that benefit more from welfare. You see, black history, you can never know enough. You keep reading, you keep learning, you keep going. Because it is only when you know some certain things about black people that you will be also able to tell other people. So there are, each time I sit down and think about how these people have also blocked their own blessings without even knowing that they are the ones benefiting from it more. It's just like affirmative action that they said, only to find out that they are the ones benefiting more from it. We moved over to DEI. They say, DEI, get rid of it. Without knowing the benefits, they are the ones benefiting more from DEI. Obamacare, cut it off. It's for black people. Not knowing that they are benefiting from Obamacare. Hey, welfare. They are benefiting from welfare. And they will be the first to tell you, cut. Not knowing that their life is under cuts. God, may I not be part of the problem. May I not be part of my problem. Because as it stands, they are actually part of their own problem. Say no more. When I say no more, say no more. Each time we talk about the American dream, which I talked in one of my videos maybe yesterday, the American dream ain't even for black people. Though it benefits some people, that is the migrants. Because if you look around, you definitely will see that migrants benefit more than the people that built the country. I am not lying. I am not lying. So this dream that they keep talking about is actually not for my people. Sincerely speaking, I love the fact just that the black woman that tried explaining about the welfare. The video wasn't long. I think she made the video a long time ago. I still went back to check if I would get more of what she was saying. I couldn't find the video, but I understood where she was going to or where she is coming from. A whole 40% of them. Because now let me tell us something. Each time they are very quick to paint my people that they are the ones that commit most crime. And you check, it's only a fool that will believe that. When they say that I only smile, because how can when it comes to DEI, you people benefit more. Affirmative action, you people benefit more because you people are big. Then when it comes to welfare, it is you that it benefits more. How come it is only crime that you all look for a way? Because you all will always look for where to push it. So we know. Each time you try to put, we know, I know. And other people will also get to know about it. It's really wild. So now, sincerely speaking, some of these people really do not understand what is happening to them, because I think the people suffering it, like one thing Bishop Thomas said in one of his videos is that, are you a white billionaire? If the answer is no, you are also being treated badly. When are you people supposed to understand it? That you aren't getting or having the best of it. Because you are a working class ass. You are not, you hustle 9 to 5, right? You are still on the struggle. And the people that are making the money are using you to shine. When are you guys going to wake up and understand that it is not black and white? You all are the one causing problems for yourself. Because black people have always been ready to work with everybody that is ready, but you all have proven that you are not ready. Because majority of you are waiting. Excuse me. Majority of you are waiting for maybe manna to fall from heaven. But when was the last time manna fell from heaven? I am gonna draw the cut in here. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.